Here's a fully crafted, cinematic, emotional story based on your title, designed for a YouTube video of around 1,800 words. The rain poured relentlessly that evening, turning the city streets into a river of shimmering reflections. Cars splashed past, honking their horns, and the wind whipped around the corners of the street like it had a mind of its own. Amid this chaos, a man sat alone on a worn park bench, cradling a small coffee cup between his hands, staring at nothing in particular. His face was weathered, etched with grief and exhaustion, and his eyes told the story of a life burdened with responsibilities he never asked for but could never escape. His name was Adam, a single dad whose heart had been heavy ever since tragedy had struck his family years ago. Life had not been kind to him, but he had learned to endure, to keep moving, to shield the world from the cracks in his armor. And then, she appeared, a small figure hobbling slowly through the rain, a prosthetic leg gleaming under the flickering streetlights. Her clothes were soaked, clinging to her fragile frame, and yet there was an unspoken courage in the way she lifted her head, surveying the park bench where Adam sat. She hesitated, looking at him as if measuring whether this stranger could offer a fraction of the kindness she had been denied so often. Her voice, soft and trembling, cut through the sound of the storm. "Can I sit here?" For a moment, Adam's heart skipped a beat. The question was simple, but the presence behind it was monumental. Here was a child, alone in the rain, carrying a weight far heavier than her small shoulders should ever bear. Her eyes were pools of both fear and hope, and the way she looked at him pierced something long buried inside him. Without thinking, he nodded and gestured toward the bench. But before he could speak, she flinched, expecting rejection, expecting cruelty, expecting indifference. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of human connection, please like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel. The girl sat down slowly, careful with her prosthetic, her eyes never leaving Adam's. His own heart felt tight as he watched her struggle to adjust, and he realized that this small, quiet gesture of simply sitting was a monumental effort for her. Silence stretched between them, heavy but not uncomfortable. There was an invisible thread forming, one that neither of them could yet name, but both felt deeply. Her name was Lily. She was 12 years old, yet the world had aged her beyond her years. A car accident had taken her mother and left her with only one leg, and since then, life had been a series of hospitals, therapies, and fleeting foster homes. Lily had grown accustomed to rejection, to being treated as fragile, to being overlooked and underestimated. But something in Adam's gaze told her she could take a breath here, a small, guarded hope that maybe, just maybe, she could exist in this moment without fear. Adam, meanwhile, felt memories rising unbidden, memories of his own daughter, Emily, who had passed away 5 years ago from a sudden illness. He remembered her laughter, the way she used to run barefoot through the garden, and the crushing emptiness that followed her absence. Sitting there in the rain, watching Lily struggle to find balance and comfort, Adam felt a pang of recognition. This child, in her resilience and her fragility, reminded him painfully of Emily. His chest tightened with the mix of grief and the faint stirrings of a protective instinct he thought he had lost forever. The rain continued, drumming steadily, and Adam finally spoke, his voice low but firm, carrying a warmth he hadn't felt in years. He asked Lily about her day, gently coaxing her into conversation, but she was hesitant, speaking in whispers, unsure whether she could trust this stranger. Slowly, though, words began to flow. She told him about her school, about the teasing she endured from classmates, about nights she spent wishing her mother was still alive to tuck her in and tell her everything would be okay. Adam listened without interruption, feeling his own tears threaten to break free. He wanted to tell her that life was cruel and unfair, but instead, he chose a different path, He offered her something she hadn't heard in years: reassurance, empathy, and the promise that she mattered. Days turned into weeks, and the park bench became their secret meeting place. Rain or shine, Lily would come, and Adam would be there, offering her a safe space, a listening ear, and sometimes a warm sandwich and coffee. Wordlessly, they began to repair one another's fractured hearts. Adam found in Lily a purpose that had been dormant for years, and Lily found in him the first glimpse of family she had felt since her mother's passing. Slowly, she began to smile again, first timidly, then with growing confidence. And Adam, for the first time since Emily's death, laughed freely, his soul unburdened by the weight of perpetual sorrow, if only for moments at a time. Life, of course, remained complicated. Lily's foster situation was unstable, and she faced challenges that were far beyond a child's capacity to manage alone. There were doctor's appointments, school difficulties, and the constant emotional strain of living with only memories of a lost parent. But with Adam, she learned to navigate these storms. He encouraged her to speak up, to claim her place in the world, and to understand that her disability did not define her. And slowly, painfully, Adam himself began to heal, learning that opening his heart again did not diminish the memory of Emily. It honored it. One rainy evening, as they sat together on their usual bench, Adam looked at Lily and said something that would forever change the course of her young life. He told her that she could stay with him, not just in the park, not just for an hour here or there, but truly be a part of his family. The words hung in the air, almost unreal, as Lily's eyes widened. She had never imagined that someone could choose her, fully and without hesitation, in a world that had consistently treated her as expendable. Tears welled up, and she could barely speak, overcome with the emotion of being seen, of being valued, and of finally belonging. From that night onward, Lily moved in with Adam. The small apartment they shared became a home filled with laughter, the smells of home-cooked meals, and the quiet intimacy of two hearts rebuilding together. Every day brought its own challenges, but it also brought hope, healing, and a renewed sense of purpose. Adam helped Lily with her physical therapy, and in return, Lily reminded him that joy could exist even in the shadow of grief. They celebrated small victories, her first time walking steadily on crutches, baking cookies without burning them, and even moments when Lily dared to laugh out loud, free and unburdened. As months passed, their bond deepened into something unbreakable. Adam taught Lily resilience, the importance of compassion, and how to see beauty in the mundane. Lily taught Adam forgiveness, the power of second chances, and that love could bloom again even after devastating loss. Together, they learned to navigate life's storms, side by side, their shared pain transforming into shared strength. One day, Adam took Lily to the local park, where they had first met. The sun was shining, the benches were dry, and the air smelled of blooming flowers. Adam knelt beside her and handed her a small wrapped package. Inside was a prosthetic leg, custom designed to match her spirit and ambitions. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she understood the depth of Adam's care. This was not merely a gift of mobility, it was a gift of hope, a tangible representation of the life she could claim for herself. And in that moment, Adam felt something he had never experienced before, the pure, unadulterated joy of saving someone's world. Lily embraced him tightly, sobbing into his shoulder, overwhelmed by gratitude, relief, and the sudden realization that she had a family who would never abandon her. Adam held her close, whispering words of reassurance and love, feeling his own tears finally flow freely. It was a perfect, heart-stirring symphony of human connection, a moment that neither of them would ever forget. Life was still far from perfect. There were struggles, obstacles, and moments when the world felt unrelentingly harsh. But now, they faced those challenges together, fortified by love, trust, and the unspoken understanding that no one was truly alone when someone cared enough to fight alongside you. Before the ending, I want to ask you, if this story touched your heart, please give it a like, share it with someone who needs hope, and comment below. Your engagement helps us share more stories of kindness and second chances with the world in the years that followed. Adam and Lily built a life full of small miracles. Lily grew into a strong, compassionate young woman, determined to help others as she had been helped. Adam continued to honor Emily's memory while embracing the family he had been given in Lily. The park bench, where they had first met, remained a sacred place, a reminder that life's most extraordinary transformations often begin with the simplest acts of kindness, a nod, a smile, a willingness to listen. And every time Lily walked past that bench, she remembered the day she dared to ask a stranger if she could sit there. That small question had opened the door to a life she had never dared to imagine, a life full of love, belonging, and hope. And Adam, watching her blossom, knew that sometimes the heart has to be broken to be remade, and that the beauty of life often emerges from the deepest sorrow. Their story became a quiet testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the power of empathy, and the miraculous ways that kindness can change lives. It reminded everyone who heard it that no one is ever too lost, too broken, or too weary to be saved by love, and that sometimes a single question can alter the course of a lifetime.